Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. So, as you know, United have been in talks to sign Napoli's Andre Onana, and there were hopes that he'd be United's new number one goalkeeper next season. So, as always, now there are reports that Milan want £60 million for Onana, and United can't complete a deal at that price. So, Ten Hag, as has a budget of £120 million, and after agreeing a deal of 55 million plus five in add-ons for Mason Mount, he could come up pretty short. In won't be able to meet basically the Onana asking price. That's basically what it boils down to. Well, the thing is, we know that Ten Hag wants more than just a Mason Mount, so a midfielder, and a new goalkeeper. He also wants a striker and a defender, which is going to be a problem. Um, However, a new goalkeeper will have to be signed if David de Gea does not sign a new contract. I mean, let's be honest, right? United don't have, or well, they do have 60 million. If you've got a budget of 120 and you've just spent 60, that tells you you've got 60 left. But surely a striker is the priority right now. That's what I would have thought. What do you think? Do you think a striker is a priority? Let me know in the comments below. Now, all this premise about a new goalkeeper will have to be signed if David De Gea doesn't sign a new contract is a bit of a red herring because obviously United don't want to keep De Gea. They want Onana. And the fact that David De Gea's, been at United for 12 years, and now his previous deal expired on Friday, and now he's a free agent. It's simple as that. The guy can go and talk to anybody he wants to. But I think the fact that he got married this weekend, he's getting married this weekend to his long-term girlfriend, and United snapped that deal away from him. They offered him a deal. He accepted the deal at a cut, and they snapped it away at the last minute. So that there is an alternative. It's a guy called Kevin Trapp. United tried to sign him last season, or Ten Hag was interested in him last season. He's currently the shot stopper for Eintracht Frankfurt, but he may turn down Eric Ten Hag for a second time. Although it is understood that Frankfurt would be willing to sell the 32-year-old for around about £10 million. But it seems more likely that that keeper will want to stay at the German club and sign a new contract. So anyway, back to De Gea. Um, United have, according to the Mirror, requested that David De Gea does not sign for a different club, despite basically letting him go on a free agent. The guy's not a Manchester United player right now. David De Gea is not a Manchester United player. He woke up on his wedding day unemployed. Unemployed. United have let it go disgracefully the way they've let it go. And but it's for if United can't get a replacement keeper, uh, so Onana, the one they really want, that they will have De Gea back, and they'll have to talk money and effectively sign him on a free. Which at that point he could hold United to ransom. It may be that he won't take a pay cut. United have treated him badly, and if I were him, I'd show basically the severe lack of respect that he's been shown with what it deserves. And I'm a United fan. Don't get me wrong, but we've got to look after our players and our longest serving players because how we treat them shows others looking at the club and wondering whether to come to the club, how they may be treated. Um, so honestly, I think that you make your bed. I was always told as a kid by my dad that you make your bed, you lie in it. So if you make mistakes, you got to own your mistakes. And United may have made, especially considering now that the 60 million for Onana isn't a fee they're willing to pay. I had heard that it was really more around 45, maybe 35, sorry. Somewhere between 35 and 45 that United were willing to pay. But what we've got to remember around the Onana thing is that any money that Napoli get for him, complete profit, because he went there from Ajax on a free, just over a year ago. So why they're holding out for 60, who knows? Maybe there are other bidders, there's interest from elsewhere, and that's pushing that price up. Um, and United just can't get into a bidding war. Um, but back to De Gea, yeah, I mean, come on, we're all United fans, but imagine if you woke up on your wedding day unemployed, having been given the best years of your career to your employer, and they treated you like shit. That's what's happened. That is what's happened to David De Gea. That's and uh, I mean, apparently they're still talking or they're still going to talk, but an agreement, a new agreement on top of the old agreement that he signed and United reneged on, has not been found yet. And that's what left to De Gea leaving. That's what led to De Gea leaving. Um, but United are still making their demands even following that exit by telling him not to sign for anyone else. I think the fear is because he is a world class goalkeeper that he could sign for Newcastle United. David De Gea at Newcastle United next season. Imagine that. Imagine what an absolute effort that would be, especially if United don't get Onana and we end up going for a 32-year-old Kevin Trapp, who, for whatever reason, Ten Hag is interested in. Uh, but I mean, are we going to swap one goalkeeper who has some failings with his feet for a goalkeeper who can use his feet but isn't great between the sticks? That is my biggest concern. And the fact, I mean, I was watching a Rio Ferdinand has his own YouTube channel. I know something at five, Vibe at five, I think it's called. And I was watching that yesterday, and he said that David must be sitting there and thinking, "I never dreamed that I would be leaving the club in this way, in this manner." Says, "I look at it now," he said, "and how does David stay? How can he stay after how he's been treated?" He says, "Beforehand for De Gea, after 12 years, it would have been a love. He would have loved the club because he'd been there most of his career. But now, if he stays, it's business only. It's literally just business only, which is disappointing. And Ferdinand says he hopes it gets sorted out for David De Gea and the club's sake. I mean, you've got to remember that David De Gea made 58 appearances for United in all competitions last season. He kept 17 Premier League clean sheets, which enabled him to win that Golden Glove. That Golden Glove. The guy is not wasted. He's not. He's not past it, like people say. How we've treated him is an absolute disgrace. And if we don't get Onana now, this is another effort, absolute complete calamity made by our club. An absolute calamity. Because if De Gea decides, because it's totally up to him, he's a free agent, go where he wants. If he wants to go Saudi Arabia, he can go Saudi Arabia. If he wants to go to Arsenal, go to Arsenal. He could even end up at Liverpool, which he's not going to, obviously, because they've already got a decent couple of decent goalkeepers. But if the option came, he could go and rub it in Ten Hag and Man United's face. He could really do that. So the fact that United are also saying to him, please don't go to any of our competition. We treat you like shit, but these are our demands. Please respect them. I mean, you've shown him no respect in my eyes, none whatsoever. So the guy can do what he wants. And who knows what his advisors are telling him to do right now? I mean, I can't see him staying at United as a number two. Why would you? Why would you? What is he going to be relegated to Carabao Cup and FA Cup competition appearances? I just can't see why you do it. Why do it? Anyway, let me know what you think about how David Hay has been treated. What you think about the Onana and the price? Do you think United can still get him? Do you even think that getting a goalkeeper is or was a priority? I mean, obviously we've made it ourselves. Well, the club has made it ourselves more of a priority now, because now there's doubt whether the keeper we had will stay. So we could end up, if it truly is just £120 million budget and we can't sell anyone, then and De Gea leaves, it basically would mean we have to spend what money we do have on a striker, which is completely own effing goal again. Absolute waste of space. The people who make decisions at our club, absolute waste of space. Um, and and that's where we are, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for watching. Um, please smash a like on the video. And if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. Thanks a lot.